Hi everybody, welcome to the Manifold channel. Today we're going to take a quick look at styling choices in tables and how to use the Choice tab in the Style dialog to set choices for fields. Choice styling is used for two purposes, and it works with either numeric fields or text fields. The first purpose is to provide a pop-up list of allowed choices when editing a field. The second purpose is to provide aliases for values that can show the contents of a field in more understandable form. In this first video, we're going to take a look at the first use of choice styling to provide a pop-up list of allowed choices when editing a field. We're working with Manifold System Release 9, and make sure you're working with the latest edition of Release 9. And we're going to work with this map, which has three layers in it. It has an OSM layer, and it has a satellite layer that's from Google, and then it has a Power Plants layer, which is a new drawing called Power Plants with a new table called Power Plants Table. And here's the table. And we created this table with, we haven't added anything to the drawing yet, so all we have is a blank table here. And it has three fields. It has an MFD ID field, geom field, which is going to be used later, of course, to populate the table with points, and then a source field. And the source field is a nvarchar field, which is going to describe the primary source that's used for the power plant, for example, whether it's coal or gas or solar or whatever. And what we'd like to do is we'd like to set up this table so that we have a variety of allowed choices, and we're going to do that using styling. And the way we do this is we're going to right-click on the source column header, and then here we're going to click Style. And in the Style dialog, we see the two standard choices that we have, at least of the ones that are so far available in Manifold, for formatting text. We're going to click on the Choice tab here, and we're going to enter up a bunch of values. And the first value we're going to enter, we're going to do this in more or less alphabetical order, biomass as a source for that. And when we enter that, I just double-click, and as soon as I enter that, by default it shows the show as the same as the value. So the next one I'm going to do is coal, and then down here I'm going to enter gas. I'm just moving the cursor and clicking enter to enter that box. Geothermal, and let's do hydro for hydroelectric, and let's do nuclear, and petroleum. Let's see, oops, click here to add solar, and then last but not least, wind for wind power. And if we use the choice tab in the simplistic way, whatever we enter as value automatically by default shows up as show as. And by setting these preset choices here, what we've done is we've filled this source dialog with a bunch of preset values. So let's click OK, and I've just set up that source field with those preset values. So let's move this down slightly out of the way here, and let's zoom into a plant. Let's add a field. And what I'm going to do is let's click on the Power Plants map, and then down here I'm going to zoom to the first location, which is here, the Beaver Valley Nuclear Generating Plant. And what nuclear generating station, I'm going to click on the Power Plants drawing to make that the active drawing, and then click here to make that the active window. And let's add a point. Let's create a point. So we're going to click a point right here to add a point. And when we create a point, of course, we can edit the source, and anything that we've added here in the table in terms of fields and formatting will appear in various other settings, for example in labels and in the info dialog. So here, if I choose the source, I can choose something for the source. For example, I can choose nuclear, and see how it provides me with the pre-built list of fields that I've already selected. And I'm going to click Add Record, and there I've just added a record there. And I've previously formatted this drawing so that it provides a bright green dot. So let's go to a different location, and let's go to a location for a solar plant. And if we turn on the satellite view, here we can see that's the solar field, which is also in the Pittsburgh area. And let's add another dot for that, and let's add a record. Let's create a point. Let's put that point right there. And again, in the info pane, I'm going to choose solar. But let's say I made a mistake here. Let's say instead of clicking on solar, I clicked on petroleum. So let's click on that. That's obviously an error, but I'm still going to add the record that way, and then later on I'll show how we can correct that. All right, back here in the Power Plants map, let's add one more point, and the location that I'm going to go to, let's go to wind farm. And here's a wind farm, and near the Cumberland Gap, on top of the mountain ridges, where there's a bunch of windmills, or wind turbines as they're often called, on top of a ridge where there's a lot of reliable wind. So let's add a point to that. Let's put the point right here. And for the source, I'm going to, from the pull down list, I'll choose wind. and click Add Record, and there we just added a record. Okay, super. So we now have this map that has a variety of points, and let's zoom out here and turn off the satellite, and so you can see where we created all these things on the OSM map. So you can see they're all in the Pittsburgh area here. Here's the wind farm down here. Up here is the solar panel, and down here's the nuclear station. But let's correct this entry that we've done here by changing petroleum to solar. And the way I can do that is I just double click on it, and you can see here in the table I have that same drop down list that I defined using the choice dialog. If I click solar, it just instantly adds it. So this is the easiest thing in the world to add a set of pre-built choices that that you want to use, and it makes it really easy to add choices. And you can use this with any text field and add whatever text fields you want. You can use it with any numeric value. If there's, for example, you're doing GIS work for the water department, you're entering the diameters of pipe, and there's only certain numbers that are allowed diameters, like 6 inches, 12 inches, or whatever. You can do that as well, and it's that simple. It's not at all complicated. It's really easy to use. The key thing is just here in the style dialog, you want to set up the style dialog by entering the values that are allowed. Click OK, and then you've done it. Now, future editions of Manifold will make this easier. For example, it'll make it possible to load up this choice dialog, by copying these values from a table and that sort of thing. So there's going to be some refinements along the way. I don't know when you're actually going to watch this video, because Manifold evolves so fast that it's really hard to keep the videos up to date. But like I say, you'll see there's simpler ways of doing this. Now, in the next video, we're going to learn how to use the style dialog to do what are aliases. So if you have something like a number here, that's some sort of cryptic number, here you can put a text description. Here's the number of the value, and then show as a text description. That's the second use of how you use the choice dialog, which is to provide to show the contents of a field in a more understandable form. But for right now, what we've done is we've just shown how to use the choice styling to set up a pre-built list of choices that you can just pick from when you're entering fields and editing them, whether it's in the info pane or whether it's in a table or whatever. Thanks for watching. Tell your friends all about Manifold. I hope you've enjoyed this quick video, and goodbye from Manifold Land. Well, that was fun. If you want to see more, visit us at www.manifold.net. As always, Manifold delivers the world's most advanced, highest quality spatial products for GIS and DBMS at a low price that you can afford. Once again, that's manifold.net. See you soon.